Hello everybody. In this video we are going to learn about functions and methods, and function and method both are same things, and in C sharp we usually name it as method, and in other languages these encapsulated code called functions. So whenever we create a new C sharp script, we have two functions, main methods initiated, one start and one update, and this method will run when we start the game, and this method will run while we play the game, and this is an update method, and it will run around 60 frames per second. So we can also create other functions as well, or other methods. So for creating a method we can name it private or public. If we create it public, we can initiate this function in other scripts as well, so script communication become easy. So in private we can use this function within this script. So for example, we are creating a private function, and then we will say private void. This is a void function, and then we can name this function. So let's suppose we name this my function, and then we will make this type of curly braces here. So now we can initiate a code here. So for example, we will just write a debug.log, and we will say my first function, and now we have created a function. Okay, it's very simple. So it's just like these functions. We can also name these function as private or public. So now we will initiate this function. So for initiating this function, we can add this function in start. So we will say my function like this. Okay, so now we will save the script, and if we move to Unity and we will run the game, you will see that we will have first function, my first function. So we have created first function successfully. In C sharp, one more thing, that for example, we write some line here, debug.log, and then we will say that first function start, and here in the end we write another line, debug.log, and we say function ends. Now what will happen, that C sharp always read the code from top to bottom. So it will initiate this line first, and then this line, and then this line. So this is very important to understand, that whenever you use different code inside a function, and you want to run some part initially, and then other you want to initiate it later on, then you should follow a sequence, okay, from top to bottom. So now in this case you will see that this line will run first, this will second, and this will run third. So let's see. So let's play the game, and now you can see that first function start, the first line, then my first function, which is the main function, and function ends, which is the last line of our script. Another benefit of methods or functions is that we can do modular programming. So for example, modules means different sections we can create for different specific purposes. So whenever we write a function here, one more thing to understand, that we can add a function like this, private void. So for example, we have a player health. We can create a player health section separately health. Okay, so this method will contain everything related to player health. Also, one more thing, that whenever we write variables, we make variables like this: my name. So first letter is smaller, and this first letter of second word will be bigger, okay, capital. So in functions, the first letter of each word will be capital. Okay, so this is a style you can follow, or you can't follow, it's not necessary, but it is a style. And okay, so if you follow, it's better thing. So now we have created a player health method, and similarly we can add another function, like for example we have a player private void and damage, and we can add a damage system in this method. Like this we can add several methods. So what will happen, whenever we got some error in player health section, we can come to this method and we can fix that issue. Otherwise, if we add this code, all of the module codes here over here in update method, it will be very messy. So in update method we always add inputs, and then we will initiate these functions as well. So like this, copy and paste. So now this function is initiated in update method as well. So update method is used for inputs, and because we can only handle the inputs inside update method, and we can initiate these methods as well with that inputs. So this is one important aspect of methods. So another thing, we can make some calculations inside methods. So for example, we add here sum, private void sum, and here we initiate some two integers, int a comma int b, and then we can add values to these variables. We have added two variables here, a and b. So here we will say sum, and we will say 5 comma 3 or any other thing. So now this 5 is assigned to a and 3 is assigned to b. So now we can say here debug dot log, and then we can say a plus b, or whatever you want to make calculation. So we will save this, and let's analyze this inside editor. So let's play the game, and now you will see that we got a result of 8. 5 plus 3 equal to 8. So we can use methods for for calculations as well. For understanding the functions or methods, we will create one example here. So let's delete this code, and we are going to create a health system. So for example, we have a variable called public int health, and now we want to create a function public void damage function. Okay, and in damage function we will assign damage a integer, and we will say damage amount, and this damage amount is actually the variable which is saving damage data. Okay, so here we will say health minus equal to damage amount. We will delete damage amount from original health. Okay, so now we can have another function. We can create private void, or private void update function, and in update we will say if input dot get key down key code dot space, we are using space too much, then what will happen? So we will say damage, and we will get 5 amount for damage. So it's getting 5 from this damage variable, okay, sorry, this damage function, and it's getting this damage amount from this function. Okay, so in this way we can create a damage system. So also we want that for example, now if our health becomes 0, so let's make it 10. So here if our health becomes 0, then what will happen? So we will make if statement here, and we will say if health is less than 1, okay, then what will happen? And then we will say health equal to 0, because we don't want to decrease health below 0. Okay, so we will assign health to 0 when it will be less than 1. Health will be 0, and then we will say we can do lot of things. So for example, we want to destroy the player when the health becomes 0, then we will say destroy this dot game object. So what will happen, that the game object with which this script will be attached will be destroyed. Okay, so let's save this script and let's move to Unity, and we will add this script to this cube. This is our player, so we'll delete the script from camera, and on cube we will add this script, and here you can see health. So we can initiate the initial value, for example 100, and then we will play the game. So now if we press space, you can see health decreases to 10%. So like this, space, space, space. So when it will become 0, you can see our cube gonna destroy. So in this way we have created damage functions with use of simple methods. So hope you got quite good understanding of functions or methods. So that's it for this video. In next video we will move further. Goodbye.